Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the Forex Bootcamp. Guys, you've literally got to the last episode. You guys have done absolutely phenomenally well, and I just want to say a big hats off to you guys. We're going to just really hammer through these last points. We're going to solidify everything that you've learned and just set you guys up for success. Couldn't even get my words out, but let's kick off. So we're going to talk about overcoming psychological hurdles. We spoke about the last episode about these psychological hurdles, and we're going to speak now about how to overcome them, trading mastery, starting your trading journey, and the plan for your future. And we're going to have a nice little celebration because I'm so proud of you guys. I can't believe all of you have got to this point. You're doing yourselves a huge favor. And you guys, because you're putting effort into your future, I know you guys are going to crush it. So without further ado, let's kick it off. So overcoming psychology. The first thing we've got to understand is that everybody is going to experience a range of different emotions. You're going to feel different emotions to, but Billy Big Boy over there. I was going to say something cheeky, but you're going to feel more anger. I may experience more greed. They may experience more, more impatience. You may feel less emotions than somebody else. Somebody may feel way more emotions than you. Obviously, you want to experience as less emotions as possible, but most people, you're going to experience some kind of stuff. And if you're in the bell curve and you're the average person, you're going to feel a whirlwind. Trust me on that. But don't worry about it. It's normal. The trick is you got to recognize these emotional habits. Every single one that causes you to go outside of your plan, you just write it down. And guys, your goal, which you guys should know now, I'm going to hammer down, your only goal is to consistently execute your proven approach. That's all you got to do, right? And trade your plan as perfectly as you can. Anything that pulls you against that is a psychological hurdle. And whenever you're trading, you got to just know that these emotions are normal. It's nothing wrong with it. But you got to write down whatever is causing you to go outside of your plan. If it's FOMO, write it down. If it's anger, frustration, write it down. If it's impatience, write it down. If it's ecstasy, write it down. And just as a word of warning, in order to test your emotional ability, this has to be done on a live account. You're not going to feel nothing on a demo account. Even an account as small as $50 is enough. Keep the risk small and use these accounts to simply test yourself if you can stay emotionally disciplined. If you feel like you can crack on with 50 and you're trading perfectly, bump it up to 100. See how you feel. But for those of you who are absolute beginners, you're going to feel emotions only when you put the real cash in, right? But this is your opportunity now to not make money. Trust me, guys, the money will come. I promise you. Focus on this quality training. This is what it is. It's proper athlete training, right? SAS level training, Navy SEALs level training, right? Not making money, doing this bit right now, testing if you can stay disciplined, right? So how can you overcome these emotional habits, right? You've noticed that you've got these problems. How can you ever think about overcoming them? Well, it's very simple. You keep a damn journal, guys. There's no way about it, right? You have something where you're logging your behaviors and you're coming to a point where you can just come to a focus point, right? If the journal is a physical journal, great. If it's a PC laptop journal, fine as well. But you have to have something that you're going to be using now as a way to get to know yourself, track yourself, and have a point of reference that you can go back and double check, right? So you guys are also going to embark on a journey of self-improvement, right? And I would really highly recommend you keep a journal. It's going to help you with the trading side, but just write stuff down every single day. Make it a habit. Every single day. This is a good test for you guys to build discipline. Just write every single day, what your plans are for the day, what's your goal for the day, what you're grateful for, right? And also in this same journal, you're going to write down these emotional problems, or every single one, and you're going to rank them in order of most problematic to the least. And whenever you trade now, like I said, you're not trading to make money, you're trading to fix these emotional habits and rectify them, but first of all, notice them, okay? And you're going to basically work at it from the most problematic to the least. So if you know your biggest problem that's causing you to act outside of your plan is FOMO, boom, one on the list is FOMO. If you know that you sometimes struggle with anger, but sometimes don't, put that as number 2. And if you know that impatience is something that you rarely struggle with, but you do it sometimes, put that on number 3, okay? And what you're going to do, guys, in practicing how to overcome these, is going to all come off the charts. So if you're having problems with being disciplined, that discipline comes from making your bed in the morning. It comes from sticking to the speed limit. It comes from, going to the gym every single day, doing the things that you told yourself that you were going to do, right? Because if you can't make your bed consistently in the morning, how on earth can you consistently execute a trading approach, right? Which is way harder than making your bed. And if you can't be patient enough to not get frustrated at traffic, how on earth can you not be frustrated when the markets are moving slow? The market is the hardest thing in the world to overcome. I'm going to say it there, the hardest thing, right? And when you trade, you just stick to these rules, and that's your goal now. Not making money, not being a super rich bloke or super rich lady. You just want to trade with zero emotional influence. And when you trade, you simply make it your goal to say not FOMO. And that's it. It's not making money. My biggest problem is FOMO. So this week, I'm not going to FOMO. And you do it with all the others until you get to a point where you don't have those emotional habits no more. Yes, you may have that time where you slip. Oh, damn it, I FOMO'd. I did Monday, Tuesday really well. Wednesday, I FOMO'd. Okay, fine. No problem. Pick yourself back up. Do it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again until you don't have that problem anymore, right? This is all amazing, right? Doing what I'm telling you to do. But in order to really, really smash it, in order to really overcome your psychological hurdles, you have to know yourself, right? You have to really look yourself in the mirror and write down all these points and just get to know yourself. Why are you making these errors? What is it in your past that's causing you to feel this way? What is it about you that makes you feel this way? Why is it that when you put a trade on, you're so eager to get in? Why are you so upset when you're losing a bunch of trades? Are you seeing your whole life crumble before you? Right? Are you having visions all the time of you being the super successful rich person? Or do you have a baby on the way and you've got no cash in the bank? Right? And that's causing you to just really stress out. Right? There's always going to be something that's going to cause you to make errors. And you have to figure out what these things are. And I can tell you this, guys, when you have a situation where you're eager to make money, you want to make money, or you're stressed that you need to make money, you're never going to trade properly. You have to cultivate an environment around you of peace, one of long suffering, one of knowing that you're going to be okay despite whatever happens, right? So recognize these things. If you have some kind of problem that you just want to be rich, that's why you're messing up these trades. Well, you got to check yourself. You got to write down what is going to be expected of you. What does this trader look like who doesn't act in this way? Write down what does it look like to be this consistently profitable trader? What would they do in a situation like this? Would they be really stressful about this moment? Right? If you had a successful trader of 15 years trading the financial markets, would they get stressed out if they have a losing streak? Would they have visions of their life crumbling, in front of them if they lost a trade? Would they be so eager to make money, or would they sit back, trade their plan, enjoy their life, and know that everything's going to be okay? Would they be patient? Would they be calm? Would they be disciplined? Would they be hardworking? Would they implore long suffering? Right? What would all this look like? And you compare yourself to this person. And you just aim to curate these qualities within yourself over the days, weeks, and months. And I promise you guys, once you start looking into your soul, into why you act, why you are the way you are, you're going to do fantastically well in understanding yourself in the future and building on building a foundation now of who you want to change. Because when you go to a doctor's, guys, you don't just walk in there and say, "Yo, give me the meds, G." The doctor would be like, "What are you talking about, bro? Come here, I need to examine you. I need to see what's wrong with you. I need to take you under the x-ray. I need to see what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that. Okay. Going to make a nice detailed explanation of why you're having these problems, because I can see the problems there. I know what you need and I know where you need to go because I've examined it all." That's what you guys got to do. Okay? So, mental resilience and consistency, right? Everybody is different. Simply put, I've said it a million times. And what works for you may not work for someone else, and vice versa. So you need to find out what is going to keep you in an iron mind mindset, right? Once you actually find out that you can do this trading thing, yeah, you can make cash in the markets, you can stay disciplined, right? You need to remember that you haven't won the battle if you did that for a day. You haven't won the battle if you were consistent for a week, for a month, right? You will, obviously, if you say don't make money in that month, but you traded your plan perfectly, you've won. It's about staying in that mindset, about being a winner when I follow my plan. No matter what the market tells me, no matter what the world tells me, no matter what I might even tell myself. The rule is consistently profitable trading is executing a proven approach. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. So whatever takes you away from that is going to set you back, right? So how do you, and obviously because we're emotional creatures, right? That's why trading is so difficult. That's why 90% lose, because it's an emotional game. It's a human battle, not a strategy battle. How can you as a human navigate yourself through this whirlwind of emotional craziness? How can you stay disciplined in a business that causes you to, your inner being, to completely pull and fight? You have to build this environment around yourself. You have to create a routine for yourself every single day, right? And it's about protecting that mindset. And one tip that I can give you guys is that I personally, I don't, okay, of course I look to the future, but I don't focus on the future. I focus on the day. I like, today is the day that I got to be consistent. Today is the day that I got to fight the battles. And as long as I can get through the day, after the day is finished, I chill. I calm myself down and I do my thing, right? I used to struggle massively with looking too far into the future, trying to think about my money, trying to think about my job, trying to think about when I'm going to be successful because I need to do this, because all of my inner beings, right, that I managed to work around. When I created an environment around myself which was based on peace, right, and I was able to be strong in my daily life, being strong in my trading was no big deal. And I did this from all the things that I've listed by here. You don't have to implore this, but you guys can do this as well, right? I created a routine for myself. I read endless books. I set rules for my daily life, right? I practiced tasks in my day to make me stronger, right? I went to the gym to get discipline, right? I meditated to be calm. I did all these things, and you guys will probably do much, much more. So whatever works for you, if you find that you don't really like a morning routine, even though I strongly recommend it, but you find that just, playing some music in the morning out of bed is what gets you going, and that gets you in a consistent mindset, and that gets you peaceful, then do that. If you don't want to read books, you want to listen to audiobooks, then do that, right? You just got to find what works for you. And building this mental resilience is massively, massively important, okay? Before we go on to book recommendations, there's something I forgot to put into the slideshow, and it's actually really, really important. And I just want to explain something to you, right? We have evolved from creatures, right, where we had to hunt and kill to survive. We were literally, like, when we see the monkeys, the chimpanzees, whatever, the lions, all the animals that are fighting for their life in the wild, we were them once. And we share in our DNA, we have ancestors, right? We have the same DNA as those cavemen, right? So when we were hunting, right, the reason why we have stress, the reason why we have fear is because it's an alert to a threat. So back then, if I heard a little whistle in the grass and I instantly jump and my eyes are fixated and my heart's pounding, every fiber of my being is telling me to sprint for the hills. And those who sprinted for the hills are the ones who were successful, and therefore they reproduced. And over time, the gene just, consolidates, and it gets whatever, it evolves and does all that stuff. We have that exact same response to the market. Okay. Similarly, if I was a caveman and I saw another caveman come and take my stuff, I'd want to bash his head in with a massive log. That's literally because something of mine is being taken away, so I gotta protect it. I gotta get it back. It's mine. This is all the survival instinct, the survival genes that you share with all your ancestors. Yes, it's crazy. Your DNA can be traced. It has, the same, I don't know how to word it, right? But the DNA that was in those ancestors is in you. So when we trade, the reason why we get stressed, right, is because our brain is perceiving the loss of money as a threat signal. Every stress, everything is telling you to basically, make back what you lost. All of your urges are telling you it's your human, right? Your DNA. It's your human aspect, your DNA aspect that's making you cause these errors. And that's why trading is so difficult, because you've got to fight these inherent human qualities that's within you, right? As someone said it before, humans make terrible traders, and it's true. Every human instinct that you have in your body, if you just did the opposite, you would work in trading, right? If you take a loss, you want to make the money back, so you're going to double your risk. Terrible idea. Terrible, terrible idea in trading, right? If you're in a losing streak, you feel like you got to fix something because something is losing, that's your DNA coming in. You have to change your approach. You got to fix something. And again, that's detrimental. What did I tell you guys, right? When you have a proven approach, which is backed by a series of trades, which is backed by real data, all you got to do is consistently execute it and the market will work out for you. Simple as that. Anything else? What is it? It's noise, it's distraction, it's going to set you back, okay? So that's something to think about, right? And I've listed all of these books here. This is a combination, right, of self-help books and also trading books. The first one that I want to mention is the most eye-opening book for me. Golf is Not a Game of Perfect by Bob Rotella. This is a book about golf, bro. It's not about trading. It's not about ancestry, DNA. It's about golf. But if you are a trader, buy this book. Probably the number one book here, better than Trading in the Zone, in my opinion. Buy that book and read it. And if you are a beginner, it might not make sense to you. Buy it, put it on a shelf. But if you're an experienced trader and you're struggling, read that book. It will change things for you. Okay, we're going to go down the list and I'll just talk about them. The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf Dobelli. I actually think this guy used to be a trader. He basically wrote a book, and it's such a simple book. It literally just notes loads of psychological problems that we have and what we can do to think more clearly. And it's going to help you massively. Ego is the enemy. I read this when I tried to surrender my ego, right? And it helped me massively in trading because I felt that when I was trading, it was just, I guess, I don't know, I couldn't surrender. Something was calling me to read that book, and I read it. The Best Loser Wins. I haven't read the whole book, but I've read pieces of it. This is really, really good book. It basically holistically goes through, like, it's a trading psychology book. It's not about any entries or anything, but it's all about, it's so many things in the market. It talks about trust, talks about pain. If you want to have a psychological book that's going to help you in trading, read that. Trading in the Zone, equally as good. The Mountain is You. This is a book about self-development, and it just takes you through so many journeys on how you can improve yourself that you would have no idea. Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. This is, I'm not really too big on the law of attraction. I'm a Christian myself, and we can speak more about that level of stuff. But there are some things that this book is really important for. This book basically teaches that everything is in your brain, which I believe, right? But I don't believe it from this kind of perspective. I believe it from like a biblical perspective. Everything that you think of, right? All of your thoughts, everything that you truly believe and have faith in will come to fruition. And what this book does is that it allows you to, if you follow what it says, it's going to change how you think so that you can be more focused on, thinking about what you want to achieve. If you think about losses all day, you're going to have losses all day, right? This book will help you find your purpose, and it will just help you create a better framework and a better state of mind. Because you know now, guys, trading is all about mentality, okay? Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Brilliant book. If you guys don't know, Marcus Aurelius was one of the most famous Stoics of his time. He was actually the emperor of Rome. He was a decent guy. He did pretty good for himself, right? Only the emperor of Rome, and he, right, the same as us, had 86,400 seconds in a day. I believe that's the same. That's the amount of seconds we have. He was an emperor of Rome, and he still had time to focus on his discipline. He was writing in his journal, and that journal is what meditations is. He didn't write a book. He had a journal, which became something that people were revering as a massive, amazing piece of philosophical literature. And it teaches you how to really think in a very amazing way, right? How you can not be... I don't really know what Stoicism is. I guess in a simple way, it's simply about how to not let your emotions control you and to be the master of yourself. That's, I guess, what Stoicism is. So this, obviously, there's way more books you can read, but this is a brilliant set. I've read all these books. They're amazing. Okay, so mastery of trading. So guys, you're probably going to think to yourself that as soon as I get consistently profitable in trading, if I get about a couple months of consistency, boom, I've unlocked it. That's it. Game over for me. I've done it. No, right? It's not all that. Okay? The same way a professional athlete has to continue practicing and hone their skills, you got to do the exact same. The same way a samurai sword, right? You have to sharpen that sword after a number of battles to keep the blade sharp. You got to do that with yourself. Okay? And it's all about the effort that you put off the charts that's going to make an impact into your trading, right? It's not about putting thousands and thousands and thousands of, endless, mindless hours into the charts. But it's all about the little details and acts of discipline that you commit to every single day that's going to solidify you at this top tier trader. Committing to acts such as your practice, right? How often you review your plan, you double check your stuff, you got your checklist and review your process, right? How much do you commit to waking up early every single day to make sure that you start fresh and have an amazing start to your day, right? How much do you commit to your daily rules? Are you eating chocolate all the time, or are you being, strong with yourself? Are you saying that you're going to stop smoking, or you're going to continue buying cigarettes, right? The work on yourself that you commit to every single day, the self-development, the constant improvement. These are, obviously the list is not limited to this, but this is what I'm talking about the effort that you put into off the charts. That's going to shape your trading success. Okay, set goals for yourself, guys. You obviously, when it comes to trading, you can't guarantee your results, right? So instead, focus on things that you do have control over. So you may say to yourself, right, as a total beginner, I'm going to just trade this month. For this month alone, I want to just be completely in line with my plan. Okay, and then I want to do that then for 2 more months, and maybe by the end of 3 months I would have had a nice decent amount of profit for myself. Okay, after maybe 6 months I want to do this, and obviously your goal for trading is just to be executing your plan. Maybe after 6 months of consistency you want to then review your plan and see how you can improve it. This kind of stuff I don't mind if you're starting out, right? You just have to remember, when you're improving your plan and making changes, right, you're obviously you're going to set yourself back a tiny bit, but hopefully it's for the better. But if you're happy with your plan, you don't need to change. If you're doing it from a perspective of, I want to improve because I just want something different, no problem. But if you're doing it because I don't think my plan's working, that's a big problem, right? But not just for trading, guys. Set goals for your personal life. Do you want to have a specific physique? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to have a business? Do you want to have a love life? What kind of person do you want to be, right? Do you want to be a faithful person? Do you want to believe in God? Do you want to pray? Do you want to, find whatever it is you want to do, guys? Just have goals for yourself. Don't just be very honed in on trading. So yeah. Okay, so starting your trading journey, right? What is this going to look like? Well, obviously, guys, your ultimate goal is you want to make some cash, right? That's why you started this journey in the process. But in order to get there, what have you got to do? We know obviously putting trades on, but what does that look like? And what kind of trader are you going to be? Are you going to be the gung-ho risk it all for the big gains? Or are you going to be the long-term consistently profitable trader? And for those of you who listen to that, I really hope all of you said the latter, because the former is never going to bring you any consistent long-term results. Sure, you may get really experience in the markets, and sure, you may want to say to yourself, you may have an account which you have a bunch of money which you're happy to lose, and you're going to go high risk. Yeah, no problem. That's okay, because you've gained the experience and the consistency from wanting to be the legitimate trader, not the gung-ho risk it all. If you see anyone on social media who's just a big fat gambler, don't follow them, guys. Even if they look like they're making cash, you don't want to be that trader. You want to be the one that can consistently make good profits over time. I mean, who knows, guys? You could be consistently profitable, making X% a month. You could be headhunted for a hedge fund. You could go work in New York, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, think of it from a professional standpoint. Imagine if you had a business, right, where you trade people's money. Do they want someone who's going to say, yeah, guys, if you invest in me, it may take you a few attempts, but on the 5th attempt, you're going to have a big fat gain, but on the others, it's all going to be risk it all, baby? Or are they going to go with the person who can say, I may not have the most amount of gains, but what I can give you is long-term consistency, right? What sounds better to an investor, right? And when it comes to trading, obviously you want to level up your money, you want to level up your gains, but you don't do that by adding more risk. You do that by adding more capital, right? So how do you attain more capital? Well, there's two ways. Number one is that you can grow your own trading account, known as a personal account, or you can go with proprietary firms, known as prop firms, right? And before you begin, guys, I really need to hone this in. In order to get real practice in trading, which I mean genuine practice for your emotions, you got to trade with a live account, okay? An account funded with real money. Obviously, because of human nature, you're not going to experience those real emotions unless real risk is on the line. But again, guys, I'm going to reiterate, you don't need it that much. Start with something that you don't care if you lost the next day. Even $100 is fine, $50 is okay, even $20 is okay. But it's got to be enough that gets your emotions in the game. But don't risk too much. Do not risk an amount that don't risk an amount that you need. Because I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to be so bad at trading your plan. And I don't mean that from judgment. I mean that because I was there, and every single trader is. And you wouldn't be human if you stepped into the game and you were instantly perfect, right? This is why you don't want to risk a lot, because I'm telling you, 90 or 95% of you are going to lose all of it. This is just to practice with, right? So like we said, we're going to start small. Okay, for most of you that are getting into the game now, it's going to take most of you guys probably 2 years minimum to get consistently profitable. This game is no joke. right? And when you start, you just got to make it your goal to build consistency. And that looks like trading the same thing every single day. Just risk small and just see how long it takes for you to get consistent with your trading, right? And when you get to a point where you can trade consistently, and you know that making more money in trading is all about gaining more capital, then you're likely to step it up a little bit, right? All you got to do is get an account, start with a small amount, right? Risk no more than half a percent or 1%. And if you've got a proven approach backed by testing, as soon as you are consistently executing that plan for like 3 to 6 months, you would have seen that you're making money. And at that point, you probably would have no more emotional barriers. And I want to also say something to you guys. If you can make 2 to 5% a month or more, that is amazing. Most strategies out there, guys, you can probably make some months make 10 to 15, 20%, right? Honestly, that's the beauty about trading, right? But in order to get there, you've got to trade consistently. But you don't have to go for the big gains. 2% a month is great. Is amazing if you can do that every single month. Anything more is even better, right? So don't think that you got to make like 5, 10, 20% a month for a good month. 2% is a good month, right? So gaining more capital, growing your own personal account. Rule number 1, guys, do not quit your day job, okay? Stay in your day job, find a plan that you can trade around it, either trade in the mornings or trade in the evenings, and then, use your funds from your job to invest little bits into that account every single week or month, right? And you're also going to use your trading profits to grow that account. Keep your expenses small as well, right? You're starting a business, guys. Okay, don't be buying out takeouts. Don't be going out clubbing all the time. How committed to this are you? Every bit of money that you can save can now go into your trading account. It's going to take some time, but with some, this is also going to allow you to practice your consistency. It's better to start small and by the end of the year gain a decent amount of capital than to just constantly just risk like £500 and go crazy with it and just lose it all the time. It's about building your emotional capabilities, right? Another thing that you can do, okay, is compounding, right? So if you have, this is what compounding is, right? I can't explain it any other way than this. Go and Google compound interest, by the way. If you have $1,000 account and you risk 1%, right? You keep that risk, you keep that dollar amount at $100 until you say get to 2,000. Now that 1% risk is going to go you 200. Keep that until 3,000. Now that 1% risk is 300. Keep on going and so on and so on, and your account will really, really grow. Okay. Gaining more capital, right? Prop firms. Okay, so you guys have probably been in this space already, but if you're not, there are loads of firms out there, such as, go and Google them, FTMO, 5%ers, Alpha Capital. They offer traders the ability to trade higher capital that they would not have access to, right? So they range from, say, 20K, 100K. Most firms, they have scaling plans which allow you to go past, say, 400K, but 400K generally is what they call max allocation. Sometimes it's 600K, sometimes it's 300K, but generally it's 400K. And the way they offer you this capital is that they give you tests, they give you evaluations, right, that you have to go through. When you pass these evaluations, you have the account. Any profit that you make, you will take 80% of it, right? And in order to take that evaluation account, you have to basically pay them a small fee, right? So anybody can pretty much wake up in the morning and do it, right? That's why it's a bit of a problem. It's a bit problematic for some people, and we'll get onto that in a little bit. It's definitely a fair trade-off, because most firms, they will actually offer you a full refund after you get your first payout, right? So it's an amazing way to get access to more capital if you have the skills. So this is definitely a recommendation for guys who have they have consistency with their plan, and they're just looking for more ways to get more capital. Or for those guys who are beginners, but maybe they want to know what the journey looks like. Okay, whilst it sounds good it looks good on paper, there is a really big downside to them. Okay, so these are not financial institutions. So many of them are not regulated. They don't need to be regulated because they're not financial institutions. You're not trading real capital. It's all simulated, but they pay you real money. And if you ever did want to go for a real, genuine firm, right, you've got a bunch of track records that you can show them, right, if you're successful with this. And also with this system, with the prop firms, it's actually gamed against you. They make the rules that they have for their challenges are purposely difficult. The psychology aspect is way heavier for you. For some reason, it's just a lot harder. And there's actually a lot of unethical prop firms, okay? But the good news is there is a very small selection who are rated top tier in terms of reliability, and I've had no problem from them. And these are FTMO and 5%ers. I've never had a problem trading with these guys. They are fantastic. Some firms that I've seen, the traders will make profit, they will pass the evaluations, and they've done everything properly, they've made profits, and guess what these firms will do? They will deny them, payouts, saying, oh, it was high risk, oh, etc., etc. Many of them have scammed people. So the truth is as well, once you go with more prop firms, sometimes, like all prop firms, they have a right to do whatever they want with anything. That's the weird rule they have. They just have, if they want to take your account away, they'll just take it away. If they want to like not pay you, they won't pay you. But the truth is, with the FTMO and 5%ers, they have a fantastic reputation, and they will not ever do anything such. If you feel like you've conquered them, you've got the max allocation from them, you want to go to other prop firms, my advice, guys, if you pass them, just keep your profits small, right? 1 to 2%, no more than that, so they don't give you any reason to deny your payouts. And also go and look at the evaluation test. Another downside is that they can be difficult, and the big problem is that they can make you feel like you're a bad trader, right? One of the rules is that you can't exceed a 10% loss. That's baloney, man. Like, some trades, sometimes you might lose 10 trades in a row. That just happens sometimes, okay? So, even if you lost 5% in a day, again, that doesn't matter, right? But the prop firms set these rules up. You have to, I do think that, they do teach you in some ways to, be more risk averse. But I just want you to know, guys, if you fully trade with them and you trade your plan perfectly, and you end up failing these challenges or losing a funded account, it's not the end of the world, guys. You're a really good trader for sticking to your plan, right? Yeah, don't get caught up, guys, into the trap of trying to get a load of cash quickly. What's going to happen is you're going to run the risk of spending loads of money to get this funded account, right? Which, if you're not ready for, you're going to just continue to fail, and you're going to spend money that is way better off putting in your personal account. It's going to look like this. I want to be rich. I need my success now. I need this goal. This was me, guys. This was me. You're going to buy 100K challenge, and you're going to do it. Boom, boom, boom. You lost it. Oh, I'm regretful, angry, sad. Do another one. Lost it. Oh, angry, regretful, sad. When I hadn't even proven to myself that I could be consistent, right? So start really small, guys. There's nothing wrong with prop firms. Start with 10K. Guys, 10K prop firm is amazing, right? It's more 10K than what you've got. Think of it that way, right? And if the evaluation fails, but you traded totally in your plan, you've done really well for yourself, right? The good thing about starting small is that it's very affordable, right? 10K accounts are like $100 or less. If that loses, so what? Go again. But don't get into a gambler's mindset, okay? Just trade it properly. And if you lose because you traded your plan perfectly, so what, brother? Just go again. You're going to pass it quick enough, right? So for evaluation, I've got some tips for you, right? Like I said, start really small. Don't get caught up buying the 100K, 200K because you want to get your money fast, right? Take prop from challenges only when you feel very confident in your abilities. And when I say your abilities, I mean your ability. The only trading abilities there are is to be consistent in your plan. That's it. If you don't feel ready and you want to prove yourself that you want to be emotionally capable, because the prop firm will test you way harder, right? Don't do this until you feel ready. But if you do feel ready, you've got two options. The first option is you take the challenge as if it was your normal trading account, right? You use your normal risk management, you risk 1% or 0.5%. This may take you a bit longer. Sometimes it may take you a couple months, but that's definitely okay, right? If you're just looking to trade that as you normally would, okay? If you're feeling like you're on the more confident side and you kind of want to go a little bit faster, you could risk, say, 2%, 1% or 2% on a trade just because you want to pass it quicker. But you have to be warned that you do run the risk of failing challenges, right? Because obviously you're employing more risk. But if you're happy with that, then by all means do this if you're confident. For me, guys, I'm a bit in the middle. I just risk 1% on challenges, right? Because I know my strategy is good enough to pass it quickly. So if it loses, it loses, no problem. If I make a mistake, I still risk 1%. If it's on me if I make a mistake and the account goes, no worries, I'll just get another one, right? Because I buy my challenges really, really small. But then, if I do want to go a little bit gung-ho, I'll use my payouts to basically go ahead. And, I use my payouts to fund my challenges. And that's something that you guys can do. right? So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's say now you've funded, you got your account, right? You passed phase 2 of your evaluation. Fantastic. Now it's completely up to you how you want to trade this. But in my opinion, especially if you're just starting out in the game, you want to make money, you want to keep the account, right? You don't want to lose it. You don't want to go through like 3 months of trading it evaluation and then boom, instantly you've lost the account, right? So therefore, employ a very strict risk management technique. Okay. Any thoughts of all these big cash profits and wanting to make money fast is gonna just mess you up, right? But imagine you like me, I start at 0.3% on my challenges, on my funded accounts, because I know I could have adverse conditions. And whilst it's unlikely, sometimes I might make a mistake, right? We're human at the end of the day. This 0.3% starting balance massively protects me. I've got to lose 3 trades in a row to lose 1%. And I've got to lose 10%. So I've got to lose 30 trades in a row to lose the account. It's not going to happen, dude, right? It's just not going to happen. But once I get into a decent amount of profit, then I gradually increase the risk. And this is what you guys can do. Once you keep the risk very, very small, and then grow the account, and then you can increase the risk. And once you've made a few payouts, you can use those profits for more challenges. Risk and repeat, and with your consistent execution, and guess what, guys? After 1 year of trading, you would have amassed amazing capital for yourself. But where does this start? With the mindset, and it starts with trading our plan absolutely consistently. Okay? So, some more psychological tips, right? Like I said, guys, your main goal always is to trade your plan perfectly. Okay, it's going to be harder for you because it's for some reason a test makes us feel like, it's a big thing we're going to attain for ourselves, the prospect of more money. It just psychologically burdens you, man. But so you got to be really strong when you take it. But if you lose some challenges or even some personal accounts, but you followed your plan exactly how you meant to, then you traded perfectly and you should be very proud of yourself. Losing a challenge or even a funded account does not in any way make you a bad trader. This is one of the worst things about prop firms. They make you think that you're a bad trader for failing challenges or blowing account or whatever. Just trade your plan consistently. That's the only thing that you should be thinking of. And if you kind of want to prove it to yourself, keep a personal account on the side, even when you're doing these prop firms, just because maybe you just want to make cash. And even if it's a little bit, just keep trading a personal account. And guys, what you can also do is take your profits from your funded and put it in your personal. Amazing. Okay, let's just go through some of the realities of trading. You're going to experience adverse conditions. You're going to go through some losing periods. You're going to go through times where it's going to feel like nothing in your plan works, right? You're going to make some unexpected errors, which is going to cause more losses and delays in profits. But guys, this is all normal and to be expected, right? The consistently profitable trader will take all of these things. They will take the market conditions. They will take their own mistakes. They will take everything upon themselves and they'll say, I don't care. I'm going to just be consistent, because most people can't do that. And that's why they're in the 90% who lose. No strategy works all the time. Nobody makes profits every single day. And hearken to these words. If you have sufficient testing, enough trades tested, have confidence that your account works. That your approach works. Okay? Going through these adverse conditions, right? Surviving at the end and still being able to trade your plan consistently is really what's going to solidify you as a top tier, consistently profitable trader. Okay, a small piece on adaptation. You may have heard that to be successful in trading, you got to adapt to different market conditions. Yes, it's true. The market doesn't move the same way all the time, but it doesn't mean in the sense of like, if the market's trending, one pattern's going to work one day when it's trending, and then another day when it's trending, another pattern's not going to work. Whilst that is the case, you don't need to change your plan really just to adapt to market conditions. The way that I do this is that I do this when I'm building my approach. Okay, and what market conditions look like is that I incorporate into my strategy that when the markets are trending, I've got I got approach for this. When the markets are ranging, I've got an approach for this. When markets are moving choppy, I've got an approach for this. When markets are moving amazing, I've got an approach for this. This is all within my strategy, and I look at loads of different conditions through my testing, and that's my strategy allows me to adapt. I don't see the adaptation and have a new strategy completely, right? I guess in some regards, I'm trading it a little bit differently, but the approach is all the same for me, right? It's not like one day I'm doing a break and retest pattern, the next day I'm entering double tops. My approach contains everything, and I just trade that approach. So I would recommend that you include these in your plan and just keep your plan as it is if you take this into consideration, and just let your plan, just follow your plan accordingly when it tells you how to act around these conditions. Okay? Dealing with doubt and fear. This is the only thing, guys, that's going to set you back. You're in a process, you're in a business that requires a crazy amount of faith. And if you do not have belief in yourself or belief in your plan, then why are you trading? Working on your belief is going to be a huge aspect of your success, especially when the market is giving you a really hard time. Are you going to be able to stay consistent and have faith? If you jump ship after a few days, weeks, or even a couple months of adverse conditions and you cannot stick to your plan in those times, then you just have no hope, right? And this final point, what I just said there, if you can't stick it out through the really rough times, right, then you really have no hope. 3 to 6 months of trading your plan, guys. That's all you got to do, okay? And if I'm honest with you guys, that is really everything. You are really ready now to go and take this to the next level, to put this really into practice, right? So now should be a really good opportunity for you guys. Should be a really good time for you to take stock of all your notes and have a think to yourself, right? How was this course? What have I learned? What kind of trader am I going to be? What are my goals for the future? Am I totally ready and committed for the journey ahead? Am I prepared to be tested like nothing in this world has tested me before? Am I ready to know myself deeper than I've ever expected? And am I ready to be totally transformed into someone I never expected I could become? It all starts here. So, a few tips before you go off on your journey. It's like a dad sending his kids out into the world. Goodness me, it's a bit of an emotional process, guys. I made this course like 6 months ago and I was just like a little tiny idea, and who knows what this could be, guys. I just want it to be something that can really help you all, and I really hope it does. But just some words of advice for you guys. Trading is not the be all and end all. Okay, I've been there, guys, where I spent days, if not weeks and months, emotionally by myself with nothing in the charts, praying and hoping that it was going to work out for me, right? There was a point where I realized that this isn't everything in life. And trading, when you get into the game, it can make you think that this is the only thing that matters. And I'm telling you guys, it's not. Don't spend every single day working on and thinking about and worrying about the charts. What's really going to help you guys is make trading like an addition to your life. Don't make it your life. There are so many things to enjoy outside of the charts. And I really want you guys to really take heed to that advice, is that, don't spend every day worrying about it. There are loads of things that we can enjoy whilst we're on our journey, and find things to enjoy outside of your trading whilst you are on this journey. There's so many things that you guys are incredible at. You've got amazing talents. You may think, guys, I was in a position where I had nothing. I had nothing but trading. I failed at everything else. I was failing at uni. I was failing I was even, in my jobs. I was failing in myself. I was addicted to drugs. I was a wreck, a total, utter wreck. And at that point, trading was the thing that saved me. I mean, later on, it was Jesus Christ that saved me, really. But I felt like trading was the only thing that I ever enjoyed. I didn't enjoy school. I didn't enjoy anything. I didn't like anything. I didn't know what I wanted. Trading was the first thing that I saw that I could live my life how I wanted to. Not have be my own boss, make money, travel, enjoy. I'm a free spirit. I don't like being told what to do. I'm more of an entrepreneur than I am like an employee, right? So, but when you're working at it so long, it can make you think that this is the only thing that you're good at, right? And that's a terrible thing. Absolutely terrible thing, right? Because trading will make you think that because you're losing, you're not doing well, right? And that's not the case, right? Growth is not a linear line. It's not a straight line. It's a process. It's a process, right? So whilst you're on this journey, remember that you're amazing at loads of things. Find those things, work at those things. And there's so many things to enjoy in life that is not on the charts. Find passions and hobbies in other areas. And like I said, let trading be just one thing out of other things that you want to master. I thought I was going to say something else, but that's true. Let trading be just one thing out of loads of things you want to master. And find your true calling. Because most of you guys, your true calling is not in trading. This is going to be just a vehicle for investment or something, right? I'm telling you guys, it's not the be all and end all, but it is possible, and you will make it if you're consistent, right? And the last point, guys, Seriously, the last point, the biggest point, above all, be in the moment and enjoy every single day like it is your last day. And I don't mean that in the sense of, running around town screaming and going crazy, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. No, like, you know, I want you to, if you found out that tomorrow was going to be your last day on earth, how would you spend that day? I can imagine, guys, you would wake up early. You would really want to take in your bedroom. You'd want to feel the air. You'd want to touch the tables. You'd want to have a cup of coffee. You'd want to savor that cup of coffee. You'd want to run to your family members. You wouldn't even run to the charts. You'd run to your family members, your housemates, your dog, your fish, your teddy bear. You'd tell everyone how much they mean to you, right? You'd go out and you'd walk. You'd look at things. You'd look at the skies. You'd pray. Whatever you would do, that's what your last day would look like. You'd eat with just savoring every bite, right? That's how you should live every single day. Because it's getting a bit philosophical, but one day, guys, you're going to look back, and there's probably many moments where you've looked at your life and thought, I wish I just savored that moment a little bit more. I wish I just enjoyed it. Well, that moment that we have is our life. So when you're having a hard time in trading, just come back to this video and just listen to that point, right? There are so many things to enjoy, so many things to be grateful of, and I'm going to really take in everything and just enjoy my life, okay? Don't rush the process. Trust the process. And actually, guys, love the process. That's it. Honestly. Congratulations, everybody. You have completed the Forex Bootcamp. It's crazy that I'm saying that, but you have literally completed the course. There is nothing else now. I did what I said I would do. I would take you from someone who has absolutely no knowledge in trading, and I would get you to the point where you can go and compute your own trades. You got everything you need now to be successful in trading. Because the truth is, guys, it's all on you now. You can't blame me. You can't blame the market. It's all on you. The same way it's all on everybody else who wants to make it for themselves. I've given you the foundation, guys. I've given you the tools. I've told you the path that you should go on. I've shown you the way. I've taught you how to walk over hurdles. I've given you everything, but you've still got to walk the walk, right? And you know what, guys? There's going to be lessons that nobody can teach you but life itself. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to kick off, and say goodbye. And I can't wait to see you more on my channel, right? I'm going to make another course soon about something else, because this was really fun to make. I really hope you had an amazing time with me, guys, the same way I had an amazing time teaching all of you and making this course. Tell me what you really enjoyed. Tell me if there's anything else you want me to improve on, or if you've got any recommendations of what you want me to cover next. I'll make a course based on that, guys. But I want to say I'm so happy for all of you, and I'm really proud of all of you for getting this far. Have an amazing rest of your day, guys. Go and watch the content back and share it with everyone if you can. But I'm going to say goodbye. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Faith and Forex with love. Bye-bye for now.